like 2001, 2002.
That's right. We're getting old.
Exactly, exactly. So the reason I want my man on here is because Alex has done a tremendous job of just yeah. I follow him on Instagram, and like Alex said, we're getting older, but we're taking our health much more seriously. We're both former professional athletes, so I believe it's always good for people to see former athletes and what they're doing to maintain their health and fitness after their athletic careers are over. And you're a guy who, like I said, I follow you on Instagram. I see what you do. I see the posts. And first and foremost, I'd like to ask you, how has fitness changed for you personally from when you were playing to now in your life?
Yeah, no, it's a great question, Des. I mean, there's some players out there that we can get into that are role models to me because they've done just a phenomenal job. And it's just a different mindset. I mean, some people can adjust
Right,
life after baseball and just become great full-time dads, which is
right,
amazing. Some guys can just go out and be great business men or women. And then you have people that have done just a phenomenal job of even getting in better shape
right,
post their careers. But when you're playing, you're just kind of a one-trick pony. You're focusing. You're going out to the U every day. You came out and trained with me, and it was just
absolutely.
6 in the morning. You go out and you're just focused. When you retire, it is easy to just kind of get lazy or get comfortable.
Right,
Or even if you say status quo and you eat exactly what you were eating, but you're no longer getting up at 6 in the morning and crushing it for 3, 4, 5 hours, burning calories, getting that metabolism to fly,
right,
everything slows down. And when
absolutely.
you get to be a freshman, they say the freshman 15. Well, the same thing is true for retirement. Sometimes it's a freshman 30. So
Exactly. Yeah. So that mindset changed from when you were a player to now. Just like for me, like when I was a player, you knew you had to keep your body in some sort of physical shape. It was just your job. Now it's really not your job. Like it's the onus is on you. It's kind of like when you're in high school. You have your mother, you have your whoever your guardian is that's there to direct you and to guide you to do the right things. But then you go from high school to college and you're on your own. So the onus falls on you to now do the right thing. Same thing health wise. As a professional, back when we played, we didn't really have nutritionists. We have strength and conditioning coaches. They gave you advice, but now they have nutritionists. You have strength and conditioning coaches. What's the different mindset now from when you had to do it as a player to now that you're just a businessman? And you did mention being a parent. I have to give you kudos. I watch you with your two daughters, your lovely daughters. Great job with them. And so what's the different mindset now when you don't have the coaches on you don't have managers on you don't have those people on you, but you still want to stay healthy and maintain some sort of fitness?
yeah, Des, you said it beautifully. I mean, you came from high school, went to Michigan, Heisman Trophy, then Green Bay and other teams. You won the MVP in the Super Bowl, but you had an entire army, right? It's like cabinets that were
Right,
surrounded you, constantly telling you to eat the right food, get the right sleep, make sure you're lifting, make sure you're running and sprinting and doing stadiums. When you retire, all that goes away,
yeah,
and you're the head coach, you're the head general manager,
yep,
you're your own nutritionist and conditioning coach, and
right,
it's just a matter of what priority and what importance do you put that in your life. And for me, it was very important. A, because you mentioned it, I'm a father of two, and I have two stepkids, so I'm a father of four,
right,
and I want to be around for a long time. And for guys like you and I, we retire uh, at a very young age. While we're older for sports, we're babies in the real world. And as we enter kind of the back nine of our lives,
mhm,
the healthier we are, the more we think about what we put in our body, the more we think about getting the right sleep, hydration, and we have the luxury that we're not hurting right now because we're not having to go out there and play so many games. So for me, I like to
right.
mix in yoga. I like to bike ride. I like to swim. I like to lift. Anytime I travel, the first thing I do, Des, is I try to go find yoga because I want to make sure that I detox and I sweat things out. And, you know, we're sitting like this all day.
Okay.
Just want to make sure that I'm doing
Right.
things. One more thing that I like to do is I'm taking meetings. If I do a FaceTime, I don't mind going out for a walk for, you know, a mile or two or three and just take down 2 or 3 calls because at least I'm moving. I'm keeping the circulation active.
That's a good point. I mentioned that earlier before you joined the live that people now, especially, you know, you're with family, you're with loved ones because of the holiday season. I would encourage anybody and everybody, especially after a meal, to grab one of your loved ones and just go out at least for a walk. Do this walk for a mile or so just to get the body moving, keep the blood flowing. So I think that's great, great advice. Now, walk me through I like the fact you do yoga too. I like yoga. Yoga is very important, especially when you get up there in age. You want to make sure that you're able to like stretch your muscles and everything. So that's very key to be flexible in yoga. I love that. That's a great point. Just walk me through a typical workout for you when you're at home, because then I'm gonna ask you like, what do you do when you're on the road? Because you travel as much or probably more than I do. So I'm gonna ask you about that too for people in the audience that travels. But when you're at home, give me one of your typical workouts.
Yeah, so I have a couple machines at home, and look, I think we've been at home probably more than we'd like over the last 2020, right?
Exactly.
And this kind of been a big theme about, you know, home workouts. But I have a pre-core machine, I have a stepper machine, and I like to break a sweat for at least 30 minutes a day, and sometimes that's all I have time for or energy for. But something that's going to break a sweat, whether it's the pre-core machine, whether there's a little CrossFit in the garage, whether it's just literally walking my property or going outside and walking, you know, we live in the same neighborhood, walking our street there on ponds. And that's what I like to do. I don't get to do yoga at home, but I would say a combination of CrossFit, cardio, and just walking and workouts with people, with energy, and I get energized by people, and you know, I don't need so much privacy.
Got you. Now you said you bike. You mean you cycle like one of those Lance Armstrong bikes? You do that?
Yeah, I do that too a little bit. Yeah.
Do you really? Okay, listen, because I cycle too, and I know you're good friends with Ray Lewis, because Ray Lewis is very, very heavy into cycling, and I think it's wonderful, especially for us former athletes. It's easier on the joints. It's not as hard on the knees, especially you don't want to be outside running. But did I lose? Okay, yeah, I thought you froze for a minute. Yeah, so at some point we're gonna have to cycle together.
I would love that. I would love that. I mean, look, the three that I was thinking about that are role models of mine are my boy Ray Allen, who is a freak. I mean, he's got the most beautiful body, in shape, but he's like a savant. Like, I mean, his discipline is as good now as it was when he played with the Heat and in Boston and other teams. He looks fantastic. Ray Lewis, I mean, he's another beast. I mean, he's doing 30, 40, 50 miles per day, and he's taking it to a whole nother level. And the other one's my boy Barry Bonds. I mean, Barry looks like he can still play and hit 40 home runs. He looks great. He's lean. But, you know, it's a lifestyle that these three guys are about. It's not really about just staying in shape.
Right.
They want to be great. They want to keep pushing their bodies. And I think all three of them have a chip on their shoulder to say, hey, I may not be that Hall of Fame player anymore, but I can still have a Hall of Fame body and play at an elite level. So I really have a lot of admiration for all three of them.
So you hit on another key point that I always try to emphasize, that I'm trying to help people understand this is a lifestyle. You said, yeah, it's a lifestyle. It's not like, you know, this is like a 30-day or 60-day thing. This is like a lifestyle. We want this to be a style. And it's funny you mentioned Ray Allen, because I came home last week and one of my twins, his bike had a flat, right? So I took his bike up to Max Cycle. And I went up to Max Cycle. There's a woman, she was saying, you know what? You know, because I went up to have my bike kit on. I have my cycle kit. So I just got through riding myself. And anyway, she's like, have you ever talked to Ray Allen? I said, you know, I see Ray every night. He said, Ray rides a lot. I was like, get out of here. I didn't know Ray Allen cycles. I didn't know it. So she told me that last week, and you just mentioned it too. So I'm about to try to get with Ray, but you know, Ray Lewis is a beast. But see, Ray Allen is kind of closer to us. Ray Lewis is way up the way. I have to drive up to Ray Lewis and ride with him. But yeah, it's funny you mentioned Ray Allen. So anyway, you talk about the lifestyle. Let's talk about your eating habits too. So tell me, walk me through your diet from the time you wake up, your eating habits, to the time you go to bed. Like what's a typical day like as far as your meals are concerned?
Yeah, no, great questions. First of all, just like in sports, I always like to identify what's my superpower as a shortstop, and what's something that I have to work on, right? Same thing
Yep.
with you as a wide receiver.
Yep.
With nutrition, I look at it and say, okay, what's my superpower and what's my weakness? Am I a sugar guy or am I a salt guy? Well, good
Okay.
news is
Good
I'm not
point.
a drinker. So you take that out. You know,
Right.
I'm not a smoker. You take that out, okay?
Right.
And then you start saying, I'm not a sugar guy, but I'm a salt guy. I'm from the Caribbean. I'm Dominican, so we love salt and chips. So that's what I have to defend for. And then I
Okay.
kind of work backwards. And I've been doing a little bit of a combination of high protein, so chicken, steak, anything to do with, I'm okay with seafood, just trying to stay away from fried food at all times.
Absolutely.
I try to limit my carbs, but when I eat carbs, I try to eat like some brown rice or sweet potato,
Okay.
oatmeal in the morning.
Yep.
If I'm going to have fruit with sugar, a lot of people don't understand that fruit, turns into sugar, and then that turns into fat, right? And growing up, I mean, we grew up, mom giving us cranberry juice and orange juice and all
Yeah.
the juices we thought they were good, but
Right.
really, all that sugar turns into fat. And I think the next generation of kids that are like now freshmen in college, are
Right.
far more aware than we were, because they're coming up thinking about no juices. I used to go to a bar and all my buddies would, order a drink, and I would order a Sex on the Beach with no alcohol, just so I could
Right.
look cool.
Right.
You know what I mean? I wanted to be the cool guy. I'm like, hey, but it was a version one, right? But
Yeah.
all that sugar were empty calories. So
Right. Right.
what I try to do is I try to do a combination of that, and then I think about my nutrition when I'm on the road, and I try to do a little intermittent fasting. So
Okay.
I try to maybe have my last meal at 8 o'clock,
Really.
and then I'll go sometimes to like noon the next day, so 16 hours.
Oh
And that
wow.
just keeps it super clean and easy, because you're not putting junk in your body, because you're
Right.
not eating it all. So
Yeah.
those are the kind of things that I try to do, especially when I travel.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. And I like that. I like that a lot. I try to do the same thing when I travel. I don't fast like that, but that's good advice. I may have to try that. I try to travel with snacks. I bring my own snacks. So because you're in the hotel room and you have like the little hotel bar that has like snacks, peanuts, M&Ms, and things of that nature. I try to stay away from that stuff. But yeah, that's really good advice. I like that. I like
What do
that.
you pack? What do you pack when you go on the road?
I like to I slice cucumbers, and I have this seasoning that I'll send you a picture of it. It's a seasoning that I use, and I put that in a little Ziploc bag. I make my own trail mix, so I put almonds, pecans, and sometimes walnuts, and I roast them. I roast them in the oven first, each individually, because like almonds can stay in there for like 10 minutes. Pecans, you probably want them in there for like maybe 4 to 6 minutes. 10 minutes they'll burn. Stuff like that. Anyway, so I roast my own nuts, and then I'll put in like raisins and craisins, and then I like banana chips. I like banana chips. They give it like a crunch and a sweetness. You're a salt guy. I'm a sugar guy.
I love that. I love
Yeah, I'm
that.
a sugar guy. I have to watch the sugar. So, now I do. So I make my own trail mix. I do that all the time, and I'm gonna do that one time video just for my fans. But that's why I
But
do.
that's exactly right. I mean, you hit the nail right in the head, which is being proactive.
Absolutely.
Whatever it is, you got to plan ahead, right? And man, we've been in those hotel bars for 30 years, right? Like going in and out of them, they are trouble. And what's
Yeah.
upsetting, I don't know if this has happened to you, but I've come out and had a fantastic day, on point, super clean.
Right.
And then I get to my bedroom, man, and I start getting hungry, and you got nothing but like chips, M&Ms.
Exactly right.
You go
Right.
through them, you wake up in the morning, you're like, what did I do? I screwed up the whole day in the
Yeah.
last 30 minutes. But if you think ahead, I like to plan, having my snacks, especially you go into towns that, restaurants close early. And
Right.
if you have a little protein, I like to always have like some powder with me, so
Yeah.
that I can just make a shake if I'm really hungry. I always have some uh, eight or 10 protein bars, and I
Yep.
just put them in my bag. That
Yeah.
way, if I'm ever in an emergency situation, I can always grab something,
Yep.
eat it, and I'm good for at least an hour, hour and a half.
Yeah, see, I do that too. I do travel with protein bars also. I got these organic protein bars I love. The one thing that's so funny that you mentioned is your drinks. I don't drink either, right? And the
Right.
drink that I would always order is so crazy is a Shirley Temple. And I would get a Shirley Temple. And I would tell the bartender, I'm like, hey, keep this between me and you, okay? Just make it look like a drink.
Exactly, exactly,
Oh
exactly.
man, I go to drink, yeah, Shirley Temples.
My,
That's
my
funny.
my friends are opposite. Des, the guys that I used to play with, he said, "Hey, let's keep this between you and I. Make it look like water, but put a double in there of alcohol."
Exactly. Oh man, no, that's tremendous. That's tremendous. So you've taken this whole fitness thing to another level. You have UFC gyms, you have True Fusion, and some NFL gyms. Talk to us about that. Like, how did that come about? And what does each gym offer?
Yeah, I mean, so first of all, I think there's guys like you and I, we've been so fortunate to be part of great institutions. I mean, if I think about your career, I
Yeah,
mean, Michigan, that's where my daughter wants to go. They have a great Broadway program there.
they are
Bigger
one of
than,
the best. You're right. Hey,
well, I'm gonna come to you for a little letter
oh
of
my God,
recommendation.
I know a couple people up there.
Yeah, but you think about the Packers. For me, I was
Yeah,
great fortune. I played with the Mariners and the Rangers, and of course the Yankees.
absolutely.
Um, I actually forgot your question. I got so excited about my drink.
No, you were talking about. I was talking about the gyms. You gonna tell me about the
Yeah,
difference
yeah,
between
yeah,
the gyms
yeah.
you got? Yeah,
So one of the things is in any business that I like to enter, I
right,
always like to go with a world class expert, right? Because you want to take away the optionality of failing because of experience.
right,
So I've been
right,
very, very fortunate that, for about a dozen years, there's a gentleman who's a great friend of mine called Mark Mastro. And Mark was the founder of 24-Hour Fitness.
okay,
And he sold that business in 2008. So him and I came together. We started our business in Mexico called Alex Rodriguez Energy, and we have about a dozen gyms down there. We built a beautiful business down there. And then
okay,
when UFC came up, I ended up buying the South Florida rights to South Florida. So far we have two gyms open, and
okay,
we're going to expand to about 10 or 12. We want to control the whole state of Florida. And,
absolutely,
and, and then when you look at the Cowboys, you can go up and look. Cowboys Fit is a great concept that we have with Jerry Jones. Is a beautiful business. And then we've done the 49ers with the Bears. And the
right,
same theme is Bears Fit, 49ers Fit, Cowboys Fit. And again, the one commonality is the one partner. So I
right.
like the idea in business and fitness to go narrow and deep, not wide and shallow. So if I have you and you're my wide receiver partner, I'm just gonna go to
Yeah, yeah,
you, Desmond, and I'm gonna say, let's do more because I
right,
trust you and
right.
we're aligned and we can just go. I think too many times people try to find 10 Desmonds and it's too
Yeah,
hard. If I got my
right,
MVP, if I got my
right.
Heisman, I'm gonna stick with
That's
him. I'm
right.
just gonna keep going to you because that's the way I played sports. I'm gonna stick with my best. If I got Derek Jeter and Mariano Rivera, I'm going
Right.
to those two. I don't need 20. I just need two good ones.
Exactly. I love it. I love it. Yeah, that's wonderful. And then you also invested in Super Coffee. Super Coffee, I think I look at it as a clean coffee. I had the CEO on the show about a month ago. Wonderful young man. I think it's a great product. Talk to us about Super Coffee.
Yeah, first of all, it's all about people, right? It's all about
Yep.
people. It's about product and process. And I think these guys, the three brothers, have all three right. They have the people right, a great product, and I think they have
Yep.
a process and partners that they're in line to grow a beautiful business for the next decade or so. I mean, these guys are hungry. They're
Right.
gritty. They come from a great family. And my
Yep.
bet was, yeah, I love the product. I think they're filling a space that's necessary. I love coffee and
Okay.
protein. I thought it's genius. I don't like the
Right.
over sugar, the fact that they're super clean on it. But then what I
Yeah.
really liked is how they started this business. To be
Yeah.
in college and start from their dorm rooms, I just fell in love
Yeah.
with the grit. And again, when you look at three young brothers like that that
Yeah.
are all in, that is kind of the epitome of the American dream. And they
Right. Exactly.
inspired me. And hey, Des, I got to show you something. Come here, Tosh. This is
What you
Mr.
got?
Michigan. Michigan. I was just talking about you. Desmond Howard, our
Oh,
neighbor.
hi.
Heisman Trophy
Hi.
winner, a god, a legend in Michigan. So I said we may have to go to him for a little recommendation.
Hey,
Tell her why you want to go to
that
Michigan.
guy right there. See, that's me.
Michigan, yeah.
I
That's
see
me.
No,
that.
That guy
Go
right there.
blue.
no, tell Desmond why you want to go to Michigan.
They have a really phenomenal musical theater program.
You're absolutely right. My little nephew, Eric Jacobson, he wants to go there too. So you're absolutely right.
Cool.
We'll see what we can do. Yeah, with me and Dad, we'll talk.
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
Go blue.
Nice to meet
Go
you
blue.
too. Go blue.
I told
Oh
you.
man, yeah, no doubt. Well, check this out, brother. I can keep you all evening. This has been wonderful, but I know you with your family. This is a holiday weekend, a holiday week. So I appreciate you taking the time to join me with this live tonight, man. I'm gonna let you go. If there's anything else that you would want to say to anyone who's, I say middle age, who's trying to find some motivation to work out, but they just can't find the motivation. What type of advice would you give to anybody who's trying to find motivation to work out but can't find it?
Yeah, great. And I'd love to close. First of all, I'd like to close by saying, Desmond, not only have you been a great friend and an inspiration to me, but what I love most about the way you go about your business, yeah, you got the Heisman Trophy winner. Yeah, you got the MVP and you did the robot and all that. What I really, really like is the way you've conducted yourself off the field, how you've been a role model to your community, how you've been a great, I've seen you come into Miami, into a community that is hard to
Yeah,
connect to, and you've just been a world-class citizen, the type of father you are, how intelligent your children are,
thank
your
you.
partner in life, who I admire as well.
Yeah,
And I
thank
just
you.
want to say that you are a role model. And if you're a young man out there, like I say, like us, brown skin that came from the bottom,
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
no better example than you. So thank you very much for having me.
Man,
As
appreciate
far
you.
as advice for anybody out there, I don't know if I'm in a position to give anyone advice, but I would just say this: think about small steps. It's very daunting to think, man, I want to lose 30 pounds, and I know New Year's is coming around, and everybody has these New Year resolutions. But maybe just say, hey, if I can just do, uh, you know, a mile walk per week extra, or if I can just get up and cut my diet by 10%, or I can just be optimistic and clean up my diet, just do one thing per week that you can improve. In
Yep.
52 weeks, all those things compound. So I wish everybody luck. Stay with it, and there's no better day to start your diet and your training than today or tomorrow morning.
My man, I appreciate you, man. Listen, I've been an admirer of you since we've met. I love the fact that you do the homework, you do the research. You people don't know A-Rod's a voracious reader. He's going to read and do the research. So I appreciate you and everything that you bring as a friend and the inspiration that you've given me. Man, have a fantastic holiday season, and we'll connect at some point, okay?
You got it. Happy Thanksgiving to you and everybody out there.
Thank you, my man. Thank you.
You got it.
Peace. So everybody, this was my special guest because we didn't have the Wellness Wednesday yesterday. So I hope everyone enjoyed this. I hope more than anything, I hope you got something out of it. I really do. I was trying to do our best to. Little twin just handed me a card. I mean, we had 2 minutes before we off. So anyway, thank you. Have a wonderful, safe holiday season. Make sure that you still, whatever you do, practice the discipline. Don't throw it all away now because of these holiday meals, okay? Practice the discipline that's needed to stay on course. It's a lifestyle. Like Alex said, we've been preaching that it's a lifestyle. Have a great rest of your week. Happy Wellness Wednesday to everybody. I'm going to leave you with Steve Miller Band. Everybody, have a happy, happy holiday season. Enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you. Living in the street, oh, there's a solution. Where to fly like an eagle to the sea.